All right, so we've all heard of the word inbred, right? It doesn't have a very positive connotation. It's not like the word congratulations or success. But have you ever thought about the history of inbreeding and how people from the past actually used to think it was normal? They would have babies with their entire family, and then they would be like, well, the reason that they're coming out looking like this and coming out not functioning correctly is because they're getting cursed by the devil. Not because we're having sex with our brothers and sisters. No, no, no. People from the past were pretty stupid. So, yeah, I found this video today called The History of Inbreeding. I'll leave it in the description below. We're going to check it out and learn about the history of inbreds. Hopefully King Charles is in here somewhere because, if you guys seen that guy, he was a bizarre work of art. I'll say that. Let's check it out.
Despite being a taboo or outright prohibited by cultures throughout history and around the world, inbreeding has had a major impact. From the royal families eager to maintain
You come out with your chin like
their pure divine bloodlines to
you have the attention span of a goldfish, which, I mean, some people have that nowadays without being inbred.
isolated families. The causes were not understood, yet the consequences were known. It is perhaps helpful to start with a brief explanation as to why inbreeding is a genetic problem. Most of us have 23 pairs of chromosomes, one chromosome for each parent. On each chromosome are hundreds of thousands of genes. Like chromosomes, genes come in pairs, and again there is one from each parent. If a particular gene from one parent causes an illness or disability, and the other does not, a person has a lower chance of that disease presenting. These recessive genes can rarely cause a problem, though can still be passed on. It is thought that the average person carries around 12 of these genes that can cause a recessive condition. In children of unrelated parents, the risk of the child developing a genetic or congenital condition is around...
You hear what he said? Unrelated parents.
The risk of the child can cause a recessive condition. In children of unrelated parents, the risk of the child developing a genetic or congenital condition is around 3%. However, in inbreeding, there is a greater chance of the child receiving two recessive genes from parents who are related, and may have both received the same faulty gene. In the example of two first cousins, the chances of a congenital or genetic condition is doubled. Inbreeding has been used by royal families all over.
Yep, there he is. They thought this guy was like cursed by the devil. They didn't think, oh no, maybe it's not because we have I can't even explain the system of inbreeding that this family was in. Like they were so tied. They were like the uncle slept with the daughter of the brother, and then her child slept with him, and then the grandpa slept with her, and then it's like he is so inbred, it's ridiculous.
The world.
He couldn't even speak properly.
Royal families would,
and this is like concept art. That's we don't actually like. I don't think there's a real portrait of him, or like no. I think there is real portraits, but they don't paint him how he actually looked. They made him look more human. They gave him more respect because it wasn't, probably not nice to paint him how he actually looked.
Engage in inbreeding for multiple reasons. Many royals insisted that they were divinely chosen or had divine blood. Others engaged in inbreeding to maintain their family's control over land. As more and more royal families intermarried to build political alliances, more and more families shared grandparents. As far back as ancient Egypt, inbreeding for the royal families was seen as perfectly normal. Tutankhamun, perhaps the most famous pharaoh, was a product of inbreeding. He ascended to the throne when he was just 9 and died aged 19.
He died at 19.
Plagued by illness, necrosis of the bone, and poor immune system.
Wow. I did not know King Tut was an inbred baby.
He likely died due to a fracture in his left thigh bone that failed to heal properly due to his weakened immune system. Tutankhamun's parents were brother and sister, whilst the young king himself took his half-sister.
Is that what King Tut supposedly looked like? I mean, it looks pretty accurate. The nose is what I'm paying attention to the most. That is like really accurate. The ears are almost the same big ass ears. Wow. This is King Tut, ladies and gentlemen. He probably looked nothing like
his wife, buried alongside Tutankhamun, were the mummified remains of two stillborn daughters. Societies including the Incan, Mayan, and Hawaiian all had royal families that engaged in inbreeding. For the Incans, the divinity of the royal family meant...
I mean, I get the land thing, but like, dude, like having sex with your family is not natural. You're not supposed to be like, oh, well, sister, brother, you guys make babies. No, that's not how.
brother and sister would
I
marry
mean, I can't believe they didn't see the problems that came from it and maybe thought, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I think it's actually God that's cursing our
keep
babies.
the bloodline pure, but inbreeding was perhaps most infamously seen in the royal families of Europe. The Habsburg royal family...
That looks like an alien.
...held the throne of the Holy Roman...
got a big-ass head. I know his brain is like twice the size of a normal brain.
...empire from 1438 until 1740. By the 16th century, the family held lands in Spain, the Netherlands, France, Italy, Austria, and in the Balkans. The family split into two branches, the Austrian and the Spanish branches, with each ruling their respective regions. In order to maintain their control of these territories, the Habsburg family rarely married outside of itself. Uncles would marry nieces, cousins would marry cousins to strengthen and maintain the family's claim, whilst avoiding any possible disputes between the branches. This became such a norm
this is normal. This is how life is supposed to be.
Inbreeding coefficient amongst the Habsburg family was
marrying
far
your first cousin. Woohoo!
higher than could be expected.
But look at this. First cousins, and then uncle and niece, and then second cousins. That branches off into a whole other thing.
Coefficient is a way to measure how inbred and...
I mean, look how short these people are living. Can I up the quality? 720p, really? I mean, I didn't know it was 2012. We were still making content in 720p. But I mean, look at these 1549 to 16. What does that even? 16. What does that even say? That's saying 1560. Does that mean she lived 11 years? What the hell? Like look at these 1586, 1584 to 1611. What's that? 16. It's like 27. I mean, no one's making it above 30. This person lived 28 years, it looks like. Like, what are we doing?
Than could be expected. The coefficient is a way to measure how inbred an individual is, a measure often used in...
Ooh, this guy made it 1608 to 1657. What's that like? My math is not math. And 49, I think?
The breeding
I don't
of
know.
pedigree dogs.
Oh, she made it 40 years. Okay, 1606 to 1646. Okay, never mind. Maybe we got to go back to inbreeding.
A higher coefficient means
I keep wanting to say inbreeding. Is it inbreeding?
Inbreeding. Be traits that are more likely to appear in an individual.
I don't want to participate in inbreeding or inbreeding, so I'm going to just
The range for inbreeding coefficient is on a scale from 0, meaning no inbreeding, to 1, meaning complete inbreeding. As an example, the coefficient for a child with two cousins would be 0.0625, whilst the child of a full brother and sister would have a coefficient of 0.25. The most infamous example of the Habsburg royal family was King Charles II of Spain. He had an inbreeding coefficient of 0.25, yet his mother and father were not brother and sister, rather they were uncle and niece. There can be high levels of inbreeding where there is regular intermarriage and breeding in the family. This can be best seen, if somewhat confusingly, in the Habsburg family tree. His parents too were inbred, meaning shared genes and recessive conditions were passed to Charles. He was by all accounts severely disabled. His most prominent feature was his jaw, which became known as the Habsburg jaw. Like many of his
wasn't it like really long?
relatives, he had a protruding jaw, as well as a large tongue. It was said that Charles was unable to speak until he was 4 and swallowed his food whole. As a child, he contracted a
What? He swallowed his food whole?
number of
He couldn't even chew? He's like a Dr. Vegapunk from One Piece, if you guys know who that is.
illnesses.
He's like a really big tongue. He can't even close his mouth.
Including measles, rubella, and smallpox. It is speculated that he could have suffered with hormone deficiency and
Can you stop zooming in on his face? I don't like
kidney failure. He struggled to walk, He struggled to write, and he suffered with depression. Charles was also likely impotent, never producing an heir, and he earned...
Charles, who you looking at, my man? Me or the guy over there? Because one of your eyes is over here. Now you're looking at me. Okay, then who are you looking at over there? I'm a
the
little confused
nickname
here.
Charles the Hexed on account of his many conditions and illnesses. This in turn led to conflict.
I wonder, was this painted while they were looking at him? Because does this mean that this is what they saw? Because if so, then his eye was really doing that, or did they just do that to exaggerate the fact that he was disabled? He was disabled. I don't know what. Extremely unfunctional. My
on
God.
his death as to who would inherit his lands.
And why are his lips always pink? Did he wear like lip gloss?
And his autopsy described him
blood?
in rather unkind terms, stating, quote, "His heart was the size of a peppercorn.
A peppercorn. Yep, knew that.
His lungs
Didn't they find like no blood in his body somehow?
corroded. His
That's the most craziest thing.
intestines were rotten and gangrenous. He had a single testicle corroded.
Rotten. That is horrible. His intestines were rotten. That means the inside of his body was not functioning at all.
His intestines were rotten and gangrenous. He had a single testicle as black as coal, and his head was full of water.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to picture this. I'm trying to picture the autopsy. They cut his head open, it just spills out. There's nothing in his head. He didn't even have a brain. How was this guy alive? How was he alive? He had one testicle. His lungs were rotten. I mean, his intestines were rotten. How was he even walking upright?
The head full of water could indicate that he suffered from hydrocephalus. This is a buildup of spinal fluid in the brain, and could have been linked to his childhood case of measles. Yet he was noted for his kindness towards foreign dignitaries, and for his love of the outdoors, notably spending much of his time hunting. Another notable example in royalty is that of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. The two were first cousins. Some of their children were born with the genetic condition haemophilia. This is a condition...
Why is she so small? Am I tripping here, or she looks like she's like 30, but she has the body of like a 10-year-old.
That makes it harder for the blood to clot, putting a person at risk of blood loss from an injury that would otherwise be non-fatal. The intermarriage amongst the royal families of Europe was hoped to ensure a lasting peace, a familial tie between the royal houses, but as a result, the gene responsible for haemophilia was spread among the royal families of Europe. At the start of the First World War, the King of Britain, the Kaiser of Germany, and the Tsar of Russia were all cousins, with King George and Tsar Nicholas bearing a striking resemblance. However, these ties proved to be insufficient in stopping the First World War, and yet the consequences of royal inbreeding did have a major impact.
This guy's got a nice mustache, though.
On the course of the war and in Russian history. The heir to the Russian throne, Alexei Romanov, was a haemophiliac. Both Tsar Nicholas and Tsarina Alexandra shared Queen Victoria as a common ancestor. This resulted in Alexei being a sickly child, and one that had to be protected at all costs. Tsar Nicholas and Alexandra tried everything. Eventually, one of the many healers called to cure Alexei was the mad monk Rasputin. His influence over the Romanov family...
What the hell? Is that a primate? I feel like I'm looking at like a human that lived 10,000 years ago.
...was one of the factors in their downfall, as it alienated both the Russian nobility and the Russian people.
Like when I think of a caveman, that's what I think of. Him.
The inbreeding of royalty has even become a staple of popular culture. The Song of Ice and Fire series has the royal Targaryen family engage in inbreeding, not only for political gain, but also for the genetic powers of dragon riding. Another striking example of inbreeding is that of the...
Land doesn't excuse that, though. You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to have sex with my cousin, not because I want to, because of land and property rights. Yeah. If you have sex with someone else, that's normal, but You know, you have to share the land with their family. And who wants
blue
to do that?
people of Kentucky, members
Are they blue?
of the Fugate family.
What the hell is that child? That looks like what's it, it's some like horror movie mask. I'm thinking I don't know what it is I'm thinking of. Someone commented. These children look like zombies. My God, these are the ugliest kids I've ever seen. What is this photograph? I feel like I'm looking at like I feel like I'm in Cracker Barrel. I'm looking at the wall. There's some guy with a shovel just like what is this? These children look like zombies. Why are they blue? Is this a Smurf family? There's 5 blue, and why are they different colors? Why are they different colors? Why is the dad blue? I'm guessing that's the wife. I mean, you can't assume nowadays he might be sleeping with that child over there. Who knows? Back in the day, you could do it with anyone as long as you were married. As long as you were married, it's not weird, right? Look at these children. Blue. Who the hell is that? How does he contribute to this family? He's blue, she's blue. We have 5 blue people, and then the rest are normal. But they look like zombies. I mean, look at this one. That child does not look real. That looks like a scary movie mask or something. Look at this baby. And then look at this one over here. This stuff looks uncanny. Look at this child. How do you even look like that? There's no way this picture's real. This is like AI generated or something.
1820, by chance,
Holy
2
hell.
unrelated carriers of
I've got to like Google Lens this. Hold on, I'm sorry. There's no way those children are real. There's no way this is a real picture. There's no way. Let's see. This is a real picture. Oh my God, this is a real picture. Are you telling me those are real people that lived a life? They look like zombies. Oh my God. How? Even if you are doing inbreeding, there's no way in hell I'll be able to sleep with any of these people. I mean, look at this woman back here. She looks like a zombie.
a gene that caused the condition
How the
methemoglobinemia.
hell can you look at a blue person and say, yes, I want to have sex with you?
The word is on screen now. This is a blood disorder. Because the couple were carriers of this gene, it resulted in their children being born with blue skin. The family had 9 children, 4 of whom displayed blue skin.
Children? That is a grown man. He's blue. What do you mean the children? The children are fine. The children aren't the blue ones. That girl is fine. That, whatever gender that is, I don't know. Maybe they're confused. Who knows? This child is normal. All of it's the grown people. It's like the oldest people that are blue. Like this guy looks like this guy looks like Putin. That's who he looks like. I can't tell though. I don't know if it's like the camera distorting their face or something, but holy hell. Everyone in this family's ugly as hell, dude.
The area in which they lived was not
Imagine you're in school with these. Imagine you're in school with one of these little girls. Sarah has a crush on you. Hell no, she doesn't. I'm blowing my brains out.
known for its impassable and difficult terrain. Outsiders were rarely welcomed, and over time, the Fugate family married Fugate,
Let's be real, they didn't go to school. The school wouldn't have let them in.
passing down the shared recessive gene and the proliferation of blue-skinned people. It was not initially known what the cause was of the blue skin. Some people believed it was some form of curse from the
Curse. It's a curse from God.
devil, or some unknown racial trait. The blue skin only cemented the
It's not because we're having sex with our family members. It's because of the devil, who is a definitely not made up for per entity.
isolation of the family and the intermarriages. It would not be until the 1960s that a man by the name of Madison Kewin and a nurse named Ruth Pendergrass shone a light on the cause of the condition. By this point, other families than just the Fugates had people with blue skin. The pair were able to locate a few people with blue skin, and they agreed to undergo tests. It was eventually found that those with blue skin had an abundance of methemoglobin. There was not enough to cause any physical illness, instead only turning the skin blue and the blood a deep brown. Most countries today prohibit incest, notably between brother and sister,
Good.
parent and child, or aunt and nephew. Few countries prohibit inbreeding between first cousins. In some countries, incestuous relationships between same-sex couples are prohibited, whilst opposite-sex couples are allowed. In others, the inverse is true. Inbreeding between first cousins does remain in some countries. In 30 of the American states it is prohibited, so too it is in China and some states in India. There is a greater risk of genetic disorders amongst the children of—
What do you mean some? They can't even agree on. All right, guys, you can sleep with your cousins, but you can't.
two first cousins
Like
when
what?
compared to the children of unrelated parents. For the children of first cousins, there is between a 4 and 6% chance of a recessive gene condition, whilst for unrelated there is a 3% chance of such conditions. Cousin marriages tend to be more common in lower socio-economic areas, or as a means to avoid paying dowries. In Pakistan, instances of first cousin marriage are quite high, where religious, tribal and caste expectations combine to often pressure such relationships. Genetic disorders are known to be rising, with efforts made to educate families about the dangers of inbreeding. Two of the most famous examples of inbreeding today are the Whitakers in America and the Colt family in Australia.
I watched a video on
Inbreeding
them.
today are the
Look at their eyes.
Whitakers
All of them are cross-eyed. Look at this. He's looking at him and he's looking at him. If you cover up, take your hands and cover up both the normal eyes. They look like they're having a conversation. I mean, look, his eye won't even open. She has the same thing.
in America and the
This is the only normal-looking one. These two.
Colt family in Australia. Inbreeding remains one of the more disturbing aspects. The Colt family in examples of inbreeding today are the Whitakers in America and the Colt family in Australia. Inbreeding
I gotta watch a documentary on them. I never heard of them.
One of the more disturbing aspects of many royal family trees. And as our understanding of genetics has improved, inbreeding has become less prevalent. The disturbing cases of the Habsburgs and the examples seen in societies around the world will remain as a grim warning as to the dangers and consequences of inbreeding.
Yeah, I know he had to show him one last time. Yeah, guys, I don't think I have to tell you this, but don't have sex with your cousins and relatives. That's not good. It's not good at all right? I don't care how much you love your family, don't have sex with them. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you could learn a lesson from this. I don't know anyone that supports inbreeding, but if you do by chance, the internet is a big wide thing. This video might get pushed to people that support it, and I'm here to tell you, you should not do that. It's very wrong. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave comments in the comment section on what I should react to next. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night or day. And yeah, this is a crazy reaction. This is probably going to get demonetized now that I think about it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. And until next time, peace out.